What's going on, world? Welcome back to another TYSK report. I got some very interesting articles lined up for you, so let's go ahead and start off with Apple and robotics. This Pixar-style dancing lamp hints at Apple's future home robot. Apple is developing a tabletop robot for the home. It was first spotted by Mac Rumors. The post summarizes a paper by an Apple research team that developed a robot with expressive movements to see how much more engaging it is than a standard robot. A video showed a researcher completing tasks with two robots, one labeled expressive and the other labeled functional. Both robots are desk-style lamps on an articulating arm with what appears to be an LED light, camera, speaker, and projector built in. They respond to gestures and voice commands and have a voice that sounds suspiciously like Apple's Siri. When the researcher in the video plays music, the expressive robot lamp dances with her. When she asks about the weather, it looks outside first. When she's working on an intricate project, it follows her movements to shed light more helpfully. When it reminds her to drink water, it pushes the glass towards her. When she tells it can't come out on a hike with her, it hangs its head in false sadness. The functional version, pictured side by side doing the same task, remains immobile unless required to move as part of the task. It's a remarkable, effective demonstration of how adding human characteristics to an object can make it more relatable and even more functional. This project, which is being led by Yu Han Hu, Pete Huang, and Moli Savarpurapu and Jia Zhang, is designed to prove that a robot needs to be expressive to encourage us to interact with it. So that's just some of the latest news when it comes to Apple and robotics, and it's not too often that we hear Apple's name tied to robotics. So I wonder, what are your thoughts on this robot? Do you see this as something that could be beneficial to the robotic space, or do you think that it's just Apple working on something to keep their name relevant in such a fast-moving technological time? Now, from my perspective, I'm very interested to see how this is going to grow and where this type of technology could be implemented when it comes to having a humanoid robot in your home and treating it as a companion. Thinking about a statement from that article of how the person was going onto a hike and the robot put its head down because it was sad it was unable to go. Those could be some of the mannerisms that people are looking for their humanoid robot to have. But on the other side of that, if a humanoid robot begins to have these type of emotions or responses to the things that you say or do, could it get to a point where it could bypass itself and not even be that helpful companion that you wanted to be or that you got it for in the first place? So very interesting times when it comes to Apple and what they're working on. I look forward to seeing what's going to happen next with this, and I'll make sure to keep you informed when that news arises. In the next article, let's talk about Meta and their robot move. Meta is studying how humans and robots can collaborate on housework. Meta announced PARTNR, a new program designed to study human-robot interaction, HRI. The research is specifically focused on how humans and robots might collaborate in the home environment. That includes mundane tasks like cleaning, cooking, and picking up food deliveries. Their benchmark consists of 100,000 tasks, including household chores such as cleaning up dishes and toys. Meta is also releasing the PARTNR dataset consisting of human demonstrations of the PARTNR task and simulation, which can be used for training embodied AI models. Simulation has become an increasingly useful tool in robot deployment, allowing organizations to test in seconds what might otherwise take hours or days to accomplish in the real world. Meta says, however, that it has also had success deploying the PARTNR model outside of simulation. It has already been used in Boston Dynamics Spot Robot in testing. Meta has also built a mixed reality interface designed to offer a visual representation of the robot's decision-making processes. With PARTNR, Meta wants to reimagine robots as future partners and not just agents, and jumpstart research in this exciting field. With the right scaling and advancements in AI, one can imagine a world in which humanoid robots address general-purpose tasks in a way that allows them to help in both the factory and the home. Meta, which has been exploring robotics amid to its wider AI research, is hoping that PARTNR can help them get there. Alright, so with this only being February, these companies are moving very fast when it comes to making these robots better, to understand different environments, and running through those simulations is really going to give those robots, or humanoid robots, I should say, a boost in their capabilities, and what we thought they could do within the year, they could soon be doing within 4 to 5 months. Now, this could be an idea that could be a little bit far-fetched, but based on that article with Apple and then based on this article with Meta, I'm thinking that these companies may later on down the road create some type of group or consortium where they're all working together in tandem to create the ultimate platform that humanoid robots will operate on in the future. And of course, Nvidia will be involved in that. But just imagine all the different things that these companies are working on to speed up the development process and understanding of humanoid robots. It's only a matter of time before we get to that point where people are going to be able to display or present to the world these capabilities of what they can do within the homes. Now, of course, the price of these humanoid robots are going to slow things down when it comes to people getting them. But over time, as more and more of them begin to be available to be purchased and the price gets to a point where lots and lots of people can get one, that is going to be a very interesting time to see how people are going to operate when these humanoid robots are going to be doing things out in the world and be as normal to us as the cars that we see out on the road or the planes that we see flying in the sky. So like what Apple is working on, I'm very excited to see how this progresses for Meta and their partner program. And if any other information arises with this, I will make sure to bring you that news as it arises. Now, before we hop off the robotics train, let's go ahead and talk about Pi Zero. Physical Intelligence open sources Pi Zero Robotics Foundation model. Physical Intelligence, the San Francisco-based startup that has raised more than $400 million, has open sourced its Pi Zero Robotic Foundation model. Pi Zero was introduced a few months ago and can be tuned to a range of tasks including folding laundry, cleaning a table, scooping coffee beans, and more. Physical Intelligence has released the code and weights for Pi Zero as part of its experimental OpenPi repository on GitHub. The company said between 1 to 20 hours of data was sufficient to tune Pi Zero to a variety of tasks in its own experiments. Physical Intelligence is providing sample code that can be used to implement a client for your own robot. Some of the highlights of the pre-trained checkpoints provided in OpenPi are as follows. Pi Zero Base is the standard pre-trained model, and it is designed for fine-tuning, though it can be used in zero-shot for tasks that are present in the pre-training data. Pi Zero Fast Base is a model that uses the fast tokenizer to enable control via auto-regression discretization. Physical Intelligence said it provides somewhat better language following performance, but has a higher inference cost. Pi Zero Fast Droid and Pi Zero Droid are OpenPi's models that are fine-tuned to the Droid dataset, which consists of diverse tasks in diverse environments with a Franca robotic arm. These are the first models that are able to follow instructions successfully in entirely new environments with Droid platforms. Pi Zero Aloha is a set of checkpoints fine-tuned for tasks such as towel folding, food scooping, and more on the Aloha platform. So that's some news from Physical Intelligence, and if this fine-tuning or this information is right up your alley, you'll be able to explore those Pi Zero checkpoints on their GitHub repository and utilize them as you see fit. Let's move on to the next article. Fusion Processing is testing an autonomous electric bus in the UK. Fusion Processing finished building its first Alexander Dennis Enviro 100 AEV autonomous electric bus. The company equipped it with its Cavstar Level 4 to 5 autonomous driving system as part of the Connector project based in Cambridge, UK. The bus will soon undergo track testing to calibrate and optimize Fusion Processing's Cavstar system. Fusion Processing said the Cavstar system consists of an AI processing unit coupled with radar, LiDAR, optical cameras, and ultrasonic sensors that enable the system to analyze and understand its environment. The company said Cavstar has already been used as a vehicle control systems in several other autonomous vehicle projects, including last mile pods, small robots, and off-road vehicles. After the track testing is complete, the bus will move to Cambridge, where safety drivers will receive training to oversee operations. Fusion Processing said it will launch public services later in 2025 at the Cambridge Biomedical Campus, a hub for biomedical research, patient care, and education. Fusion Processing designs and builds autonomous driving systems. The company's products include Cavstar and Cycle ICMS, a mirror replacement system for buses and trucks designed and developed in-house at their Bristol, UK headquarters. So far, the company said its products have clocked over 2 million kilometers of service. So this is nothing new if you have already been on this channel seeing the videos that I've been putting out. And if you haven't, make sure to subscribe to stay up to date. But as I stated before in the past, more and more companies are working on making these larger vehicles autonomous to the point where they can operate on their own. And with this one from Fusion Processing, it has that level 4 to 5 capability, which is soon going to be able to take those different routes without having some type of human operator watch its move. And this is not the only company working on this. I've stated before that in other parts of the world, other companies are working on this, especially at airports. So within a 5 to 10 year span, we could begin to see these autonomous trucks and these autonomous buses driving around us to the point where they become very normal as the buses and trucks that we see on a daily basis. In the next article we have, the NBA is testing a new smart basketball made in Europe. The NBA is experimenting with a digital brain for basketballs. The system is the brainchild of Sport IQ, a Finnish startup that developed smart basketballs. Inside each ball's valve, Sport IQ embeds a sensor that tracks a player's shots. Data is first extracted on their form, position, angle, power, and technique. Next, the information is fed to a mobile app for AI analysis. Players then receive direct feedback and advice. According to Sport IQ, over 20 million shots have already been tracked. The company estimates that regular users improve their shooting accuracy by 12%. The results impressed bigwigs at the NBA. They revealed that Sport IQ has been picked for Launchpad, the league's tech incubator. During the 6-month program, Sport IQ will get hands-on support and resources from the NBA to develop its tech. By joining Launchpad, the company hopes to expand its product lines, usage cases, revenue streams, and technological capabilities. The NBA is just the starting point for Sport IQ. The company is already planning to expand into new markets, and its sensor system can adapt to numerous sports. Now, with this article, I was thinking about how this could contribute to a new subset of sports betting that's not out there right now. So just think about how people want to bet on different things within prediction markets. With this technology, they could bet on how many times a player has shot with their hand on the logo on the ball, or even bet on the amount of force that a player will shoot with throughout the entire game. And the same thing could go for football or even soccer or even hockey. And on top of that, all the different aspiring young people out there who want to be professional athletes, this Sport IQ technology could really take off in the different high schools and colleges, turning these players into ultimate performers. Let's move on to our next article. Humanoid robot serves coffee in Las Vegas. A humanoid robot utilizing Nvidia AI technology is set to start serving customers coffee and desserts at a new Las Vegas restaurant. The Atom robot from Rich Tech Robotics has already started working at the Coffee and Tea at Town Square, Las Vegas, the first restaurant opened by the robotics company. The humanoid robot will work alongside store associates who sell things Atom cannot prepare, such as snacks and bottled drinks. The associates would be available to help customers interact with Atom. Coffee and Tea at Town Square will be a vibrant destination delivering an interactive and dynamic experience that perfectly captures the energy and excitement Las Vegas locals and visitors crave. The restaurant is the first store from the Rich Tech Robotics Coffee and Tea brand, with additional stores opening soon. So I talked about this before of how robots are going to be working alongside people in the future, and based on that article, the future is already here. So it's not just going to be cobots, collaboration robots, that people are going to be working alongside. It looks like this Atom robot is going to be in different places, working with different people at these coffee and tea establishments. Even though this Atom robot can't prepare bottled drinks and snacks right now, I am very convinced that because of its capabilities and what it can do presently, and with Nvidia's technology, I believe it could be programmed to do those things that the article stated it can't do. So personally, right now, I think this is just the beginning and introducing people into what these different robots could do. Over time, more of these Atom robots are going to be in different coffee establishments, and I believe it could make its way to a Starbucks, where this machine could be making your weekly coffee to perfection without any disruptions. Now let's move into the next article talking about GitHub and their agent mode. GitHub Copilot previews agent mode as market for agentic AI coding tools accelerates. Agentic AI has been all the rage across multiple sectors, including application development and coding. Recently, GitHub has joined the agentic AI party with the launch of GitHub Copilot Agent Mode. The promise of agentic AI in development is about enabling developers to build more code with just a simple prompt. The new Agent Mode will enable Copilot to iterate on its own code and fix errors automatically. Looking forward, GitHub is also previewing a fully autonomous software engineering agent, Project Padawan, that can independently handle entire development tasks. The new agentic AI features mark the latest step in the multi-year evolution of the AI-powered coding development space that GitHub helped to pioneer. When GitHub Copilot first emerged, it was positioned as a pair programming tool which pairs with a developer. Now, GitHub is leaning into the term peer programming as it embraces agentic AI. Developer teams will soon be joined by teams of intelligent, increasingly advanced AI agents that act as peer programmers for everyday tasks. With the recent launch of GitHub Copilot Agent Mode, developers can generate, refactor, and deploy code across the files of any organization's code base with a single prompt command. So based on that article, I wonder at what point technology could get so good within the coding space that it begins to replace developers. Now, there have been many articles and videos of how people have stated that developers won't be replaced, but from my perspective, based on that article, this is just an introduction into the beginning of that starting to happen. So if you are a developer out there, I would love to be informed and educated on if that statement is wrong or if it's correct. All rebuttals and insight is welcome. And if you're not a developer, based on that information I just provided to you, comment down below in the comment section what your thoughts are on this article and let me know what you think. So that's just some of the latest news when it comes to the world of technology. And as always, I hope you enjoyed the video, and to continue to stay informed, like the video, subscribe, and then check out these two videos right here and stay tuned for the next video.